For the second time in a row, we had a failure of the Assembly to complete the constitutive session, which is the most important part and procedure before proceeding with the formation of other institutions. In this case, unfortunately, we had the same situation as 2 days ago, which can be interpreted in two ways. In legal and procedural ways, due to the lack of submission of formal resignations by Prime Minister, acting Prime Minister and other acting ministers, we had a blockage of the whole situation, therefore preventing the Assembly from being constituted. On a political perspective, I believe this showcases the situation with lack of votes, which is, I guess, the reason why we are having such a situation. Because if there were sufficient votes to appoint a Speaker of the Assembly and to form a new government, they would have passed this. Last but not least, I should also state that the Speaker of the Assembly, in this case the oldest MP, Mr. Dehari, is not only not adhering to the rules of procedure, but he is also violating the procedural steps, because he has no rights to suspend the session without having a voting process being conducted and that voting process failing. So just a lack of consultation or no reach of consensus during the consultation is not a solid ground enough for the session to be suspended. Therefore, we ask the Prime Minister, acting Prime Minister Kurti, and his acting ministers to submit their formal resignations as soon as possible, because only through that way we can proceed with the formation of other institutions. I believe actually that the opposition parties are not going to vote in favor of such a report, regardless of how frequently and how often we are going to have such meetings. Therefore, I believe it's almost now a nonsense to hold meetings without a prior resignation. Nevertheless, this is a good basis maybe for the opposition parties or MPs in general to maybe file a complaint to the Constitutional Court and check whether this situation should be resolved by formal resignation or they can just proceed. However, I must reiterate that in that way we would lose quite a long time with procedures of Constitutional Court, which usually can take up to months in order for them to decide.